friend Susan. And Susan, you know, we were talking yesterday and this morning. We've been talking for a few days since the debate. And we are both in agreement that people need to take some action. So tell me, what do you want to say to the voters who are feeling intimidated about what 45 said at the debate on Tuesday night?
Well, what I want to say is I want to remind people that we have the power. We have the power to control our destiny. You know, Trump is scared. He's desperate. He knows if he doesn't win, he faces the justice of the New York court system. So he wants to get back to the White House because for him, that's the safe house. So we got to keep that in mind because this election is about, are we going to have a democracy or are we going to have an authoritarian state? Trump doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about me. He doesn't even care about his supporters. He cares about staying out of jail. So we got to remember we have the power to determine the outcome, not him. All the things he's doing with the post office, telling the Proud Boys and that other group of people, the white supremacists, to go out and intimidate people, that's a strategy.
Yeah, you know, let me just pop something in right quick. Just to remind voters that this is not fake news.
No.
This is really what was said.
Are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace.
Then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it. Do you want to call them? What do you want to call them? Give me a name. Give me a
white
name.
Supremacists and
who would you like me to condemn?
White supremacists and right
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
You heard that. So what do you want to say to the voters who may not vote because they think their vote doesn't translate into making a difference in their everyday lives?
No vote, no voice. When you don't vote, you give up your voice. And our ancestors fought and died and bled so that we could have that voice. Now we live in Georgia, a Republican-run state, and they have no interest in the needs of people like us. They will continue to cut Medicaid or refuse to expand Medicaid coverage. Health and Human Services for the state, those will continue to be cut. Those things impact your everyday life. So voting, particularly in this election, is a way for you to have a voice so that we can reverse those outcomes. It doesn't have to be that way. We have the possibility of electing 2 Democratic senators to represent Georgia. Georgia is on the cusp of turning purple, if not all the way blue. We have, Stacey Abrams said, we have the opportunity to take back the state legislature, have it be majority Democrat. Now, can you imagine if the state legislature were majority Democratic, what we could do, what we could accomplish, even with a Republican governor? So I ask you, I plead with you, I beg you to think about those things and vote early and vote, please.
Anything else that people can do to protect themselves and be prepared?
Well, I collected phone numbers that you can call if you come across voter intimidation. So the first number, you want to put all these numbers in your phone so you don't have to scramble to find them if you run into a problem at the polls. So the first number is a voter intimidation hotline. And that number is 866-OUR, O-U-R, VOTE, V-O-T-E. The second number is Voting Rights Hotline, and that's 800-253-3931. Then there's the CBS News Desk. You know, I'd imagine on voting, when early voting starts, the news trucks are going to be all over the city, being, you know, ready to film any problems. So CBS News Desk, 404-327-3200. And WSB News Tip is 404-897-6276. Put all these numbers in your phone so they're ready to go. Because if I could just say real quickly, you know, we live in a Republican governed state. My concern is if problems break out in polling places, is Brian Kemp gonna send the police? Is Brian Kemp gonna send the National Guard? Given what he did to steal the election from Stacey Abrams for governor of this state? I don't think so. I would pray so, but I'm not hopeful. So we gotta be ready to protect ourselves.
So that's the What's So. That's just an informative video that we wanted to share with you, just to let everybody know to be ready, be prepared, and don't be driven by fear. That is the tactic that they're using to have us not vote.
Yeah, you can be afraid, but be courageous, because fear, you know, courage is acting in the face of fear. That's what I believe. It's like it's normal and human to be fearful, but it's correct. But right now it calls for courage. Courage to stand up in the face of our fear, get in that line, and make sure our vote is counted.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan.